everybody, it's Jillian. Good morning. So, wow, the last couple days, I tell you, with all the information I've been putting out there, yeah, a lot of people are a little bit concerned about their future. A lot of people are very reactive to my acquiescence to all this awesome information. And here's the thing, we know the grid's going to get turned up. Obviously, like I told you, from 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G, 8G, 9G, this like one generation, two generation, three generation, you get it, right? And so on. Well, there's also a thing called Project Bluebeam, okay? Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone, but Project Bluebeam is going to allow a lot of virtual, like actual physical virtual reality in your world if you have the the cameras to be able to beam somebody, not literally like their whole physical body, but a virtual form of them. Like, remember Princess Leia when she sent a message to the Allies or to the Alliance and she used R2D2 to project a message? Well, for that to happen, you have to have a projector and a screen, right? Well, guess what? The grid's going to be one big, huge, giant screen. Your reality at some point in the future is going to be one big giant screen that can be created. Yeah, it can be used for virtually helping somebody with their homework. It could be virtually used to show someone how to build a house. If you have the different projector and you have the grid the way it is, yeah, things can be beamed anywhere. You can even have virtual police come to your house. I mean, I'm looking at Aldous Huxley and the Brave New World, and then there's George Orwell and the Orwell in 1984, and I mean, yeah, people knew this a long time ago. I mean, there's so many rabbit holes you can go down, but you instead of like being scared of the future, just be prepared for it and just be calm about it because everything that you've been studying, that I've been studying, there is an element and a grain of truth. Now, how it's going to be used, well, that's definitely, left to speculation. If you're coming from an imbalance, it's going to be horrible because you're going to be like, oh God, they're going to send off the zombies. And I mean, there's the rapture and there's all the things that we hear about biblically and you never know. You never know. Okay? When you have so many people in society that imbalanced, it'll be very easy to manipulate someone's reality. Like, seriously, very easy. And so if you understand the science behind the grid, the science behind, my Jilly Juice, the science behind just the future, we're not going to be like peasants in the future. Everyone's going to have a purpose. Like they said in Brave New World, it's going to be like where you won't need a human to procreate. Everything can be done in a lab. Okay, I'm not going to argue with where they're going in the future. I'm still going to remain who I am, and I'm going to adapt to every single incremental and accelerated change that goes on. I'm going to be more aware of it and give you guys a heads up what it is that you may be seeing in the future. But yeah, Project Bluebeam, will definitely happen down the road. How it's going to manifest, I can't tell you. But yes, when you do turn up the grid from 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G, 8G, it's like, and then you have fog, which serves as like a screen. You can project any image you want. So this is why it's very important for you to keep grounded in your body, mind, and spirit. You don't look out there for any kind of solution, or absolution. You don't look out there to blame. You take care of you and yours. And you realize, okay, most people that are not very balanced are going to be manipulated in some way, shape, or form. And when someone calls out that, yes, you might be a little imbalanced and manipulated and whatever, they don't like it. Oh, I understand. I mean, my book, The Evolution of the Jilly Juice Protocol, gives you everything you need to know about science, the microbiome, the viruses, all that stuff. There are still people out there that deny the microbiome. They deny the viruses. They deny the parasites. They deny the proteins, protozoa, the fungus, the bacteria. They deny. They think any one of those things are like the enemy. That they don't really think that that's really part of who they are. And so then that's how it's going to be easy to manipulate them in the future when it comes to like all the different highly technological, highly advanced stuff, because they haven't even acknowledged basic science. And so I can ferret those people out very, very quickly. I can ferret those that are reacting from my information and they're like, oh, I gotta have Jilly Juice, and my God, your publisher is having an issue with PayPal or something. And I'm like a kind person. I'll let anyone on if they show some kind of initiative that they want to do this, but there's some issues that they have to deal with. But I still want to give them the benefit of the doubt because, yes, they dropped me a line, they did this, they did that. But what happens is when you deny basic science, like the microbiome, when you obviously haven't really read my information or follow the rules that I have in the group, you won't be able to last. You won't last. That's why I say it's all about personal responsibility. That's why I am the way I am. That's why I come down so hard when someone is like just wanting to blame everyone out there but themselves for the position they're in. Yeah, I mean, you were taught one thing, definitely, and then as you got older, you got access to information, like my information, and now you have the chance to change your course of your future. But if it's still coming to the blame game where you think that I'm blaming you, like when I say you, yes, because it's not my responsibility to take care of you. It's not my responsibility of why you are where you are. It's not my responsibility that you don't understand my book, my recipe, why it comes out the way it comes out, why it won't smell great in the beginning. I mean, yeah, there is no way I could take responsibility for your position in life, for your lack of understanding or understanding. And so, yes, I must shift the blame right back on you because that's where it belongs. I got my own shit to take care of. I'm responsible for my dog, my husband. Enough information for you to get it, to do your own research. I'm responsible for where my life is going. And the rest is all up to you. You can take my information or you can leave it. You can react so weird about it, or you can be like, okay, I'm going to withhold the reaction. I'm just going to do the J juice, understand I can't make a mistake, I can't mess up, and that's it. And so, it's been totally so interesting. And so I finally have my book where I can now finally really cover the evolution of man. I mean, how is it that a single-celled organism turns into man? Well, the single-celled organism gave life, of which then the different atmospheres offered then an environment for someone like the reptiles. And they existed for millions of years. And then the shift in the environment from outside forces like asteroids that hit and volcanoes that changed the atmosphere. And then there were mammals back during the Cretaceous period, but they were very few and far between. It was when the cooling of the planet came up that the mammalians then rose up. And yes, it does change not only the atmosphere, but it changes then the biodiversity. Now, I'm not going to go beyond. I'm not going to go only from Neanderthal to modern man. But did an alien come in and take that single cell organism that then, was Earth created by an outside force? Was it just a spontaneous and all of a sudden all these animals and all the, I don't even know. But if not, then it's no different than how man was created. So then we're still back to the same thing. There is still an outside influence, a very intelligent outside influence that directed the species to be where they are, to where then, yes, a good prototype was able to then take on alien DNA. And I'm sure there's probably millions and millions of worlds that started from scratch and then turned into a very advanced society. And that we're kind of like that society that's somewhere in the middle between very young and very advanced. We're on the precipice of being very advanced, but we still have 7 billion people we have to get through, of which 99.99% are having a hard time with any kind of change. So I wouldn't be surprised if our civilization was one of many at different levels of evolution. Just like a person. You know, you take 100 people and you see them like the planets at different levels of advancement. And when they use up all their resources, then they have to go and find more. And then that's where other planets are being used as tools. And then they find there's life. That life is just, that's just like the life that existed for them. They were looking for us to help them get resources. And so it's like, and then when we use all our resources, we're gonna go find other planets out there and go and try to find life and create civilization and mine for gold and bring it back to our place. And you know, I mean, and it carries on. It's like, you know, what is it? Sacred geometry. It's infinity, whatever. Okay, it's everything. We're all part of a process. We're all part of a process. And so it's, I don't know, man. It's just, whether the story is true or not, it's a great freaking story. And it has substantiability in it. Okay, and so, you know, all we could do is just kind of like chuckle and laugh and just watch how everything is going to roll out, and then know that you're going to survive all the different increases of generations. 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, 7G, 8G, 9G. There isn't a 10G, but I know there's at least a 7 or 8G like in Norway. Okay, so we're headed towards 7, 8, 9G. Oh, there'll be a lot of people be like, holy crap. And then I don't know which G it is going to have actual Project Bluebeam. But they already did that in China. They already done Project Bluebeam in China. There was a huge city that they built from a virtual reality that was sitting way out in the distance in the whole huge cloudy film, because that was the screen. And they had a huge projector that projected that image. And so the clouds were the screen. Oh yeah, that's in the future. It's going to be very, very interesting, the future. So don't be scared. Just understand the world that we live in. It's very, very, it's like the holodeck on Star Trek. I love the holodeck on Star Trek, where you can create any reality you want. You just have to press the button and there's that reality. And they could be like in the Bahamas or in some jungle, or I don't know, you know, overlooking a cliff on the sunset. You know, I mean, that's the reality that we're going to be living in. It's going to be like Total Recall, too. I mean, I'm telling you, watch all your science fiction movies, because that's really what the future is going to be like. It's not science fiction, it's science fact when you're actually coming upon that precipice of that, you know, happening. And yes, the cell towers and all of that are all part of it all. Telecommunications, everything. The satellites in the sky. Yes, the chemtrails, which, yes, will cool the planet off, but will serve as a screen. Oh, it's going to be so interesting. All right, you guys, have a good day. Enjoy. Do the J juice. You got nothing else. Well, I mean, you do, but you don't want the alternative.